What's up, y'all? First, if you see me fired up during this video, because you will, it's because I've been drinking First Cup coffee. FirstCup.com, use code BUDDY for 10% off. They're out of Texas. They don't burn their coffee, and I love supporting non-woke coffee brands. FirstCup.com. Time for the morning, y'all. I woke up really early this morning to turn on the liberal meltdowns on CNN and MSNBC, which I never turned on before, but I just had to see it, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, it did not disappoint. The Democrats are all trying to figure out how they can possibly win elections now with all these unbiased rules. I mean, look, y'all, choosing your favorite candidate is definitely a threat to democracy. I ain't gonna lie. When I turned it on and saw that the Supreme Court had ruled 9-0, and it wasn't even close, not one or two justices, okay? I ain't seen Democrats this mad since we took their slaves away. All this stuff about it being an insurrection, I don't think I've ever talked about this before, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now. An insurrection would actually be an attempt to overthrow the government. Do y'all realize at that time that this was going on, Trump was the government? What's he gonna do, overthrow himself? To keep him off the ballot, it would have actually been necessary to bring up a charge against him that he was charged with insurrection. That never happened, and that's never going to happen, because if it did, they would be forced to provide evidence instead of posing for the cameras on CNN. And look, y'all, Trump's probably going to lose Colorado anyway. That ain't the point. This whole thing expands to about 30 different states now that we're trying to keep him off the ballot. I mean, Colorado is pretty much, trusting their leadership up there is pretty much like trusting an eyewitness account from Jussie Smollett. Did y'all see Amy Barrett's opinion on this thing? She said the 9-0 decision was meant to turn the national temperature in politics down, not up. Translation? The vote was 9-0, so anybody trying to score political points at this point just looks stupider and stupider. Do so at your own peril. This is a really bad week for Democrats, y'all. I mean, every single conservative, every single independent is looking at the Democrats going, y'all are a bunch of absolute psychopaths. You got Whoopi Goldberg out there a few days ago saying that Joe Biden should arrest every single Republican. I mean, come and get us, darling. Come and get us. You want to come out to where we live down here in Mississippi? I promise you, you won't get through the front gate. And I want to say this too, because here's the thing, y'all. Those who attempted to keep a candidate off the ballot are actually the ones guilty of insurrection. Why? Because they attempted to bypass the voters and deny them the right to decide. Probably because their heroes in communist China love doing that all the time. Even though this ballot thing was all symbolic, unfortunately, it was at the expense of the taxpayers. Because now we get stuck with the bill for running this whole thing up to litigation all the way to the top of the Supreme Court. Imagine if they'd have tried to keep Obama off the ballot in about the spring of 2012. Yeah, let that marinate for just a second. The vote was 9-0, y'all. So all these people on TV claiming that the vote was all partisan, I guess they can claim that, but to do that, they'd have to say that the 3 liberal justices are actually MAGA. The meltdown's hilarious. I really hope y'all got the popcorn. They're arresting illegals now in Texas. It's going to be a great week, y'all. I do think that the folks are forgetting about the really good news about Nikki Haley. We haven't talked about that yet. This was her last big hope. So now she can just take her campaign money and donate it back to Soros, which is probably where all the money came from to begin with. Nikki Haley is like the Jada Pinkett Smith of politics. She shows up at every single event, and yet nobody ever invites her. It's obvious at this point, y'all, that the Supreme Court are the only adults left in American politics, because we can see that, and we're thanking God for them, okay? But no matter who wins in November, I still think it'd be a really good idea to split America down the half, red states and blue states, and see who's still alive in about 5 years. I already know the answer to that, because like a female country singer's STDs, our problems aren't going away anytime soon. God bless y'all. Be good.